There are two countries that visit the US way more than everyone else. We had visitors from Argentina, Spain, Australia, Colombia. Only 1.6 million from China, which is insane considering there's 1.5 billion people over there. These are all last year's numbers too. South Korea and France with way more tourists visiting the US states. There's Japan, Brazil, Germany. Here's India, the most populated country in the world. Again, 2 million, not as much as I'd think. But here are the top two countries, Mexico and Canada. Obviously, the two countries, the US borders. So this shouldn't be that surprising. But what should be surprising is how much they're obliterating everybody else. You can combine a lot of these down below and they still come nowhere close to Mexico or Canada's numbers. What's crazy too is considering that Canada only has like 40 million people, half of them visited the US? That is absolutely insane. I don't think people realize how insane that is. That's the real interesting data about this whole chart. If we're to believe these numbers, about 50% of everyone that lives in Canada visited the US at least once last year. And actually there's a lot of news articles about this because we might potentially see this number really decline here in 2025 with all the domestic drama going on. It's like the first time in my entire life I've seen them so proud to be Canadian up there. They're really not trying to be that 51st US state. Now part of the reason why 50% of Canadians can visit the US at least once a year is because they are living so close to the US border. Though Canada is the second biggest nation in the world by land area, ultimately there's not that many people that live there, and when they do, they live close to the US because that's the warmer parts. Another thing to keep in mind is obviously in order to travel to the US, you kind of gotta have money. Typically tourism is a luxury. However, for some of these places, it's going to cost a lot more than others. Obviously, India's on the other side of the globe. Mexico has over 100 million people living there, but only 17 million visitors. A lot of them live deeper into Mexico, like by Mexico City.